everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I am doing a unhaul project. So if you can tell from my bookshelves, they're getting a little crowded, and I mean not terrible, but it is getting crowded. So I have a pile of books next to me for unhaul. I have kind of been thinking about doing more books as well. I've also been kind of thinking about doing like an unhaul project maybe, where like I read the books and if I don't like them, then they're out the door. But for now, I just have a pile of books that I am unhauling. So I just want to share with you what the books are, maybe why I'm unhauling them, because it's been a hot minute since I've done a unhaul video. It's been a long time. And I do unhauls fairly regularly, but I don't normally share them because I kind of forget. I'm like, I just want them out the door, and I just caught my ring on my sleeve. Oh no. Oh no. Oh well. I'll have to figure out how to fix that loop there. But my ring caught on there. Anyways, so unhaul project. We're going to go through the books. We're going to figure out, what's going on. What are we getting rid of? So the first book, most of these I've actually, half of them I've read, half of them I haven't read. So kind of a mixture. But the first one is Spindle Fire by Lexa Hilaire. This was kind of like a giveaway win or something from a book group, and I'm like, I've had this on my TBR for like 2 years now, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want it. I mean, it did sound interesting. It's about two half sisters. It's definitely got, that Aurora Sleeping Beauty feel to it, but I'm just like, I'm not really interested in it. And if I am, I could always just pick it up at some point, but just for me, I need more space for other books, and right now I'm just not interested in it, unfortunately. Next book is Until Our Time Comes by Nicole M. Miller. I read this one a few months ago, and it was good, but it was just like an average rating for me. It was 3 stars. I know I will never reread this one again, so I figure I would just pass it on to a reader friend somewhere, and we could just go from there. I will try to put these up on Pango Books, so if you see anything you're interested in, check it out over there, and I will try to post these within the same week that I'm making this video. Well, they'll be up by this point. So Until Our Time Comes, this is a World War II fiction about a woman who's trying to rescue the horses that are on the Arabian horses that are at this farm ranch area in Poland. So it was good, but as I said, it's just an average rating for me personally, and it wasn't my favorite World War II fiction book. Next is The Color of Home by Kit Tasella. Again, I really enjoyed the characters, but it was an average star rating for as far as story goes. But I did, as I said, I really liked the characters. But I don't imagine myself rereading it at any time soon, or at all probably. So I'm trying to get in the mindset of, if it's not a signed book and I'm not going to reread it, why is it still on my shelf? Next is I'm getting rid of one author's backlist because I have 4 of her books. I don't think I'm going to read any more by her. She just wasn't for me, unfortunately, which was sad because I've heard lovely things about her, but all of her books have only been about 3 stars. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to keep them if they're just 3 stars. And that's Carrie Stewart Parks. And one was a gift, but I'm like, it's okay. It's okay to unhaul a gift. It's okay. It's okay. You'll survive. But as I said, I love the spines of these. They are gorgeous, and they're kind of giving me like, why am I getting rid of them, because these spines are gorgeous. But as I said, these are just average star ratings for me, about 3 stars. One of them may have been 4 stars, but I don't see myself rereading them, and I just don't think she's an author for me. But a lot of people absolutely love her work, so if you want them, go check out Pango Books. Next is a book that I got in a subscription box. That is Fire and Grace by Melissa Plants. Now, I did enjoy this one, but as I said, I don't see myself rereading it at any time. I don't think it's signed. No, it's not. But this is a really interesting take. It has like a cult factor in it, and a little bit of like magical realism, and it is Christian fiction. But I did find it interesting, but as I said, I just don't find myself rereading it at this time. This is a collection of short stories. It's called If a Church Pew Could Talk by Cindy Caraway Williams. And I did enjoy it as I was reading it. But I think some of these stories I enjoyed more than others, as usually short stories go. So I figured I don't think I would reread this one. It was interesting though. Like it is about a church pew and kind of the stories around the church and stuff. So it is really interesting. And then I think most of the other ones I have not read, but they're just gathering dust, and I have no interest. So the first one is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. So This is I have a couple of book of the month, and no, they did not come from book of the month. I probably got them from library book sales or whatever, but I've had these on my shelves for like forever. Literally all of these have been on my bookshelf for like at least 2, maybe closer to 4 years. So I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. So this is kind of like a mystery-esque book. This is the one, like, out of all the ones that I have, I may be interested in picking up later, but as I said, I'm not really interested in it. Then the next one is Girl A by Abigail Dean, and I think this is supposed to be also like a mystery type book, but I was like, you know what, the description didn't draw me in all that much, so putting that away as well. And I'm also like, I'm not a huge fan of books that come from book of the month. I usually end up DNFing them or not liking them, and it's like, it's not really worth it. So then the next one is, they do have a couple good books, but not many. So the next one is Liberty by Caitlin Greenidge. This is another one that I would be tempted to pick up later on. This is a historical fiction, I believe, set during, it's coming of age as a freeborn Black girl in Reconstruction era Brooklyn. So this is one that I would be interested in picking up in the future. She's a practicing physician, so I would be interested in picking this up at a later time, but the cover is gorgeous. But as I said, if I end up liking it, I probably won't get the book of the month copy and just get like the regular edition of it. And then the last 2 I have actually read. So the next one is Pull Me Under by Kelly Lucci. Did not like this one. I think I'd give it 2 stars. I just was not a fan. The story didn't draw me in. I mean, it drew me in right in the beginning, and then it just went downhill. And I was like, no, I'm not rereading this one. I think I continued reading it because it was for a prompt. I just was not a fan of this book. So, but I mean, I like the premise about a girl who was put into juvie because she ends up killing a fellow student in her school, and her father ends up disowning her. So I love that part. But then it just got so slow, so boring. And I'm like, are you kidding? So, no. And then the last one is a book that I got from an author. It's Bright Star by Jared McCown. And I did enjoy this one. It had a very, very slow beginning, but I did end up enjoying like the last half of the book. It sped up. There was a lot more action, a lot more fast paced, so I did enjoy it, but I don't see myself rereading it, and somebody else can enjoy it if they would like to read it. And it is going to be part of a series. I think the second book just came out recently. I am unhauling A Long Time Coming by Robin W. Pearson. I love this woman. I have met her twice at book events, and she is amazing, but I really didn't like this book. I was so sad. It was a 1-star read, and it's very rare that I have one. And I was actually talking to Krista over at Books and Jam. I was like, I struggle so hard getting rid of books, especially signed books. If they're signed, I probably will never get rid of them. And she's like, don't think about that. It's okay to get rid of signed books. I'm like, are you kidding though? Like, that's like my favorite collection is signed books. But I plan on giving this author a second chance, and I haven't yet. But if I find a book better than this, which I'm sure I will, because this one was a 1-star, but I plan on keeping the book plate that was in it, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into another book. So I also have I believe I have another book plate by her from the last event I saw her at. So if this one ends up not sticking right or whatever, I can always just put a new one in. But so Robin W. Pearson's A Long Time Coming, 1-star book. It needs to go. Save room for another signed book. Okay, I think that's everything that I want to get rid of. I don't see anything else at the moment that is screaming, get rid of me, get rid of me. So I think that's everything that I have for you for today. So there is probably going to be another unhaul later on this year. I do kind of want to take, I want to do at least 5 books a month of books that are on my TBR carts over here, because I have 2 TBR carts that you never see on camera, hardly ever. So I have lots of books that need to just be read, see if I really want to keep them or not. So I am planning on doing that as well. So these are all the books that I am unhauling. There's a lot of them, but it'd be nice to get rid of these. I'm probably not going to put all of them on my Pango books, but I would try to put most of them on there if I can. So very excited to just say to get rid of these. So we did a good job. We did a good job. All right, so let me know your last book that you unhauled, or if you are just a Kindle reader, what did you unhaul on your Kindle today? Because that is where I struggle with. I'm like, I never unhaul anything on my Kindle, except for if I accidentally buy a book that I don't want. then I unhaul it immediately. But other than that, I just collect and collect and collect. And thankfully, they're on a Kindle, so they don't take up any room. Because if they did, I own at least 11 libraries. If you count, like, 1,000 books as a library, I have over 11,000 books on my Kindle. So, yeah. Anyways, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I got rid of a good pile of books. I'm very happy about that. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video.